If you're looking for ways to make money online, you don't want to do the things you see on YouTube all the time, like drop shipping, blogging, YouTube, being an influencer, constantly having to post on social media every single day just to get a couple of views. If you don't want to do any of this, then good, because in this video, I'm going to show you one of the best little known ways to make money online. And this is completely an untapped market that a lot of people have never even heard of before. And in my opinion, this is one of the best ways to make money online because you do not have to show your face. You do not have to post on social media. You work on your own schedule. Anyone can do this. You do not need any previous experience. And the best part is the earning potential. If this is something that you're looking for, this is the video you want to watch. Make sure you stay until the end for the easiest way to make money online that will just blow you away. I heard that you retired your husband from doing this too.
Yes.
Can you tell us about that and like how that even came about? The job I'm talking about is becoming a content creator. So put everything out of your head of what you think a content creator does, because this is not where you're posting on social media. Like I said earlier, you don't have to show your face or any of that stuff. This is a completely different take on it. And this is what Shannon Livingston does. And I had the honor to interview her because when I found out that she was a stay-at-home mom and she makes so much money that she was able to retire her husband, I had to interview her to find out more. And in this video, you're gonna learn everything about what she does and how she was able to do it. And this is not just something that moms can do. This is something that anybody can do if you wanna make money online. So I'm gonna show you guys what this is, how much you can make, and most importantly, how you can get started. So take a seat, get comfortable, and let's go. So I have Shannon Livingston. She is the creator of Virtual Creator Academy.
Virtual Career Academy, yes.
Yes. And I am so excited to have you here today, so thank you so much for joining. And before we jump into the questions that I have for you, I wanted to tell you how helpful that your free Freelancer launch toolkit is. I downloaded it.
Good.
And I love that you provide a list of 50 in-demand services to help anybody who is considering becoming a freelancer to determine some of the skills and services that they could offer to their clients. So I love that.
Yay,
and
I'm glad you have a couple.
Yeah, and I also saw that you have a free training where you break down 3 secrets that allow you to earn $100 an hour.
$100 an hour.
Which is wild to me. Like, it seems like
took me from $14 an hour to $100 an hour implementing those 3 things. So I recommend it to anybody who wants to freelance to join that link and just watch the training. You can pause it if you need to, but it's worth it.
All right, my first question is, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and the how and why that you even started this business?
Sure, absolutely. So I am a wife and I'm a mom to 2 little girls. I come from a corporate marketing background, like 10 years of sitting at an 8 to 5 job. And I, for like the last 5 of those years, did not want to be in the job anymore. I was looking for a way out. I tried all kinds of things to work from home. Nothing worked until I found freelancing. I started freelancing while still working my job. And I started as a general virtual assistant, just with skills that I already had and things I knew how to do. And it was later on, after I was freelancing, my sister, who was a blogger at the time, she had told me about a woman who was working as a content creator for bloggers. Basically, she was working from home, taking pictures of things like recipes and crafts, and she was selling photos to bloggers and making really good money doing it. And I was a general VA at the time, and I wasn't making very good money. I was just like, I was not making what I needed to make. And I was like, okay, this is really enticing because it's behind the scenes and she's making really good money. So I'm just gonna give it a try. And so I studied like what she was doing and I started, and that was 9 years ago when I started doing that. And I just got better and better. I've worked with hundreds of bloggers since then. And last year, at the start of last year, 2022, I launched the Content Creator Lab. And now I teach people all over the world how to do this too, so they can work from home and stay behind the scenes, you know, get out of the job they don't like, be with their kiddos, and just have flexibility and freedom.
It's funny because I share a similar journey. I find myself becoming like, oh no, I can do this. Oh no, I want to do that. I'm kind of all over the place. So I love that you're focused, and you now have a course that can help, students identify like, okay, here's my path, and here's how and why and where I need to go. I don't need to like veer off into all these different angles. Or
it's easy to get distracted.
Yes.
And it takes you step by step. You go here, you're going to be a specialist in this. You don't need to know anything else but this, and it's going to get you to success. Just follow this path.
Can you describe the primary ways creators generate income at the Virtual Career Academy?
Sure. So as a content creator, you would be working with bloggers, and you would basically be creating content, things like recipes, crafts, and printables that you can create in Canva. So we actually, in our kitchens at home, will create things like cupcakes or like trending recipes, or even like classic dishes, like things you'd make for dinner. And we will take photos of the step-by-step process of how to create that recipe or that craft. And then we take really pretty styled images that the blogger can use to market that recipe or craft on Pinterest or social media to get traffic back to their blog. Wow. So that our main job is just taking photos of what we create at home, and then we package it up and sell it to the blogger, who then, it's the copyright's transferred over to them, and then it's theirs to use however they want.
And just out of curiosity, how much can you charge these bloggers?
It's a wide range, just depending on skill level and, your photography skills. And there's also different models and ways that you can sell, so that's going to affect pricing. But most packages sell from anywhere from $200 up to, it can go up to like 600 plus. Oh, wow. So you can make pretty good money doing this. And a content package, just to put that into perspective, takes about 3 or 4 hours. So if you break that down, if you're making like $400 for one package, you're doing pretty good. You can definitely work part-time hours and make a full-time income doing this. If you get your skills up there.
Yeah, this is wild. Yeah. So what is there a particular type of camera that you recommend? Could you do this with your iPhone?
I don't recommend it. I would say definitely shoot for using like a DSLR or a mirrorless camera. If it has like interchangeable lenses, that is a great option. There's in CCL in my course, I recommend specific lenses to get, because upgraded lenses are going to create more of a professional look, and you'll be able to charge more for your work. Like you will definitely make that money back from buying, that upgraded lens. Yeah. So just something that has an interchangeable lens, so you can use different lenses for different purposes.
So what types of content services do creators typically offer their services to monetize? Is it only on food, like food items?
No, food is the most in-demand type of content. Okay. So in my course, I really dive deep into that, because even if you don't like food, you can sell things like charcuterie boards, or like, dips that require no baking, or like desserts that require no baking. There's so many different things you can do, and you can make really good money selling recipes. So we dive deep into recipes. However, you can also do crafts. Bloggers buy crafts. They also buy things like meal planners, or like party invitations for their kids, and different kinds of fun holiday printables and stuff like that you can make in Canva. They buy all of those types of content.
Your students, do you recommend that they build their program or whatever they're selling in Canva, like to make everything nice?
If they're doing like printables, I would recommend Canva, just because it's so easy. You don't need graphic design skills, and it still makes you look like graphic design.
It does.
So, I do. I talk through Canva in my course, but I also share several other resources to help them get graphics and things, and just get inspiration and ideas for things that are trending and things that will sell well.
Could you provide some examples of success stories that you have from your students?
Yeah, so I have several students who have been successful with the program. There's different success levels just depending on what that person's goal is. Some people want to make $2,000 a month, and that was their goal, and they're able to do that. Other people want to, save for a house. And I had one student in particular who was able to use her content creation income to buy a house with her husband.
No way.
Just a couple months after joining the program. I've had another student who wanted to retire, and she actually just came out of retirement, and now she's doing this from home behind the scenes. And I have another student, I actually was just telling you about her. She, the last couple of weeks, just graduated the program. She made $1,000 her very first week selling content. She's a stay-at-home mom. She also nannies on the side. So that was really cool. And several others who were able to get to that $100 an hour mark within the first couple months of selling. There's been a lot of them who've been able to do that.
Incredible. I love to hear success stories like that, especially moms, because I'm a mom of a 16-month-old. And it's funny because like my sister and you and so many other women who have kids struggle to find like different ways to work from home, or to bring in some income, like basically do your part, right? And then I'm over here trying to like figure out like, oh, but my baby is crying, I need to hold my baby.
Oh my gosh.
But you can do both. While your baby is in your arms, you can be doing some research.
Absolutely.
So there is absolutely no excuse. You, my sister, so many other women are like proving, like breaking these barriers, and like, I don't know. I just feel like
you can do it. There's ways.
You can do it. There is,
and this
absolutely
is a great way. I mean, I've done this since before I had my girls. So through my pregnancies, while my girls were babies, they've always been home. I'm a part-time homeschool mom. So we have them in school 2 days a week. We have like a hybrid model. And so I homeschool my girls, and I also work too. So it's like, you can stop and go with this as you need to. There's no like pressure, because with what we do, you don't necessarily have to book clients. You're just selling your content. So you can work as much or as little as you want. So there's just a ton of flexibility, which is perfect. Moms need that,
Yes, I know. Yes. So we talked about equipment, different camera and lenses. Is there any lighting that you recommend?
I teach how to just start with natural lighting in my program. I can share resources with my students. I do share resources with my students if they want to learn artificial lighting, but I don't specifically teach artificial lighting. I do have several students who only use artificial lighting because they shoot at night or their house is dark or whatever. But yeah, natural lighting, it's free, it's easy to get started with, and that's what I show my students.
What are some common challenges that creators face when trying to monetize their content, and how does your program address those challenges?
So I would say photography is really the most challenging thing to grasp, just because most students who are coming into the program, they are brand new to photography. I was as well. Like everything I've learned, I'm just self-taught, and a lot of it's just getting experience. The more that you do something, the better you get. You start to see things that work and don't work. So photography is really what sells our work. So getting that skill down is the most important. So CCL dives deep into photography. We go through how to set up your photos in a way that's going to be visually appealing to bloggers. We talk about composition. We talk about camera angles. We talk about literally every piece of the photo and how to put it all together. There's a photography learning library in the program with different lessons on different topics. And then I also have a tutorial where you are basically sitting over my shoulder for 40 minutes while I'm actually doing a content package, and you're seeing me photograph it. And that's been super helpful for students, just because
that
you're
hands-on experience, right?
Yeah.
The visual aspect of looking at you do something, yeah. How does your program handle any issues related to copyright or intellectual property when it comes to monetized content? Do you run into those issues at all?
Yeah, I mean, copyright, that's a very important topic for us, because, we are creating content, we're then selling it to somebody else, and it can't be an exact replica of something else that's out there. And a lot of what we do is we're not always reinventing the wheel. We take trending content and trending recipes and things like that, and we reinvent it. So not reinvent the wheel, but we're creating it in our own unique way. So basically in CCL, I have a lesson that shows students, okay, if you find something that you want to recreate, here's how to do it to make it so it's your own spin, so it's a completely unique piece of content, and you're not violating any copyright laws. And that way bloggers won't have to worry about that either. There's also another lesson where I talk through copyright laws and what's copyright protected and what's not. And also I share a few tools that my students can then use to run like their recipes through to make sure, their wording, everything is, there's no plagiarism happening.
Yeah.
So there's definitely some tools that they use to run through like their recipes and their instructions for crafts.
Can creators set their own pricing for their content, or are there standardized pricing structures or packages that they should put in place?
There are kind of standard like tiers of pricing, and I go through those with my students, but you really get to set your own prices. I kind of talk through, based on skill level and work involved and that kind of thing, where you should start your pricing. And then if you're more experienced, I give some other options. So yeah, students will know kind of where to start. And then as their work is selling out, if it's selling out super quickly, I encourage them to bump up those prices because we want them to make the most money.
Absolutely, yeah.
And that's the way to do it. You can't be afraid to raise your prices because, bloggers are willing to pay a pretty great price if you are selling them something that is great quality, it's going to rank well for them, and it's going to bring them traffic. They're going to make money off of that. So you have to charge accordingly.
Yeah, because for these students, it's a one-time fee. For bloggers,
right,
that's a continuous, that's continuous income for them if they're,
right,
ranking. So,
and they could have things that content creators sell them that go viral and get them huge exposure. And some of these bloggers, they have a following of millions. So it's like, they're happy to pay a premium price for really good work.
I know you offer the free Freelancer toolkit, but like, are there any other resources like for actual paid students that they get, or is it just like hands-on like type
There's
of?
Yeah, so basically there's the course, which is 6 weeks, and there are several bonuses that are packaged up with that they will get access to immediately. Like day one when they enroll, they will get the photography learning library. They're going to get also a guide that talks them through specific types of content to start with and what kind of content to avoid if they are not skilled with photography yet. Some projects are just easier than others. And then that tutorial video I mentioned, but they're also going to get 3 months of coaching with me. So I feel like that is one of the most valuable parts of this because I've been through everything. Like there's nothing they will go through that I haven't already been through in this business. And they can come to me with whatever questions they have, if they need advice as they're moving forward with content ideas. So that support is super, super helpful.
For sure. 3 months is a long time. So it's like no excuse. Like you have have access to somebody who knows this business in and out. 3 months is a long time to.
It is, but I love helping them, and it's brings me so much joy when they're successful. So I want to make sure, if they have a question, like come to me, I'm happy to help you. I want to make sure you know what to do and you have the clarity you need to move forward.
Yeah, and so I know that we already touched on this, but how quickly do your students have success? We talked about a week after finishing the course.
Most of my students are making money. Yeah, like a week. I would say 2 weeks is probably like the average. Most of them who are starting to sell within a couple of weeks, they're making money. And like I said, some of them, if they've been creating while they're in the course, which that's encouraged to, have content as you're going through the steps, actually get it ready to go and get it ready to sell week 6. Those students who've like prepared for that, they're making money right off the bat.
And on your website, I saw, and I love this quote you had on there. It always seems impossible until it's done, by Nelson Mandela.
Yes.
And what would you say that the hardest part is to become a digital creator?
I would just say, like I said, photography is like one of the key things to learn, but also just being willing to learn and kind of step out of your comfort zone a little bit, because you are putting your work out there for others to see, and it can be kind of a vulnerable thing to do, to see if somebody wants to buy what you have to offer.
Little old me, what?
Oh, I know. And it's like, and I know that feeling. I came from doing something completely different. And the thing is, I wasn't even like, my husband did all the cooking at home. I was not good in the kitchen. I didn't have a fancy camera when I got started. I didn't know anything about that. So, and most students don't. So just getting past that and just like putting it out there, just put it out there. Once you get that first sale, it's just like, okay, I can do this. I can replicate this process again and again and again. So just having a willingness to learn, working on your photography skills, and be prepared to just be a little uncomfortable because you're doing something brand new.
Yeah. I heard that you retired your husband from doing this too.
Yes.
Can you tell us about that and
Yeah.
like how that even came about? Like this
Sure.
is wildly successful for you, so I just want to make sure that people understand that this is possible for them.
Yes. So that happened when COVID was happening. My husband, he's a physical therapist. He worked for one of the large hospitals near us. He was burnt out. There was just a lot of changes happening, and he was kind of ready just to like move on. He had been in physical therapy for 20 years before that, and he was just ready for a change. And I, after having both of my girls, I was ready to like step it up in my business. So I was like, why don't you just come home? We kind of did the math and we're like, okay, I'm actually making more per hour than you are. So why don't you just come on home and let me take over? You can have a break, and then yeah, we'll go from there. And that ended up working really, really well for us. And it was later on down the road that I was like, okay, I want to teach this too. I have time. My husband's home, so he can watch the girls. So that's when I started building the Content Creator Lab too. But yeah, I mean, depending on your income goals, that can be possible for you too. We had ourselves in a really great position, like as far as like paying down debts and stuff at that point. So we were able to like make that change really quickly. But just the fact that when we did the math and I'm like, okay, I'm making more per hour than my husband who's a physical therapist, like this is awesome. We need to we'll have like total flexibility. Let's try it.
Yeah.
And it worked out really well.
Oh, that is awesome. I love to hear stuff like that. Well, that is everything I have for you today. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. It's been a
I hope that
pleasure.
this inspires so many people to take your course and become a freelancer and make thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars a month. So thank you so much for your time again.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I hope that you enjoyed this video and are as inspired as I've been by Shannon's journey and her insights. Remember, all it takes to make money is dedication, a willingness to learn something new, and the audacity to dream big. Like my dream to get out of debt. So I used Amazon as a side hustle to sell stuff and earned over $40,000 in a little over a year. You can find out more about how I did that in this video. If you're hungry for more tips, tutorials, and money-making success stories, let me know in the comment section below. And if you made it this far in the video, type in I made it so that I know that I'm not doing these videos for nothing. Thank you guys so much for watching and have a great day.